I have a cousin who deals with this, and so to me, it's something that really kind of struck home. Um, I'd like to speak to you about the disorder known as autism. So, autism affects approximately 1 out of every 150 children in the United States alone. It's a developmental condition, and it's characterized by impaired social interaction and communication. So a lot of times autistic children tend to be more closed off, and they don't open up as easily emotionally to people because that area in their brain isn't working like that in a normal person. Also, they tend to have restricted and often repetitive behavior. So what you might notice with an autistic child is if they have toys, they'll line them up in rows, and you might notice them lining them up categorically, like by size. You might notice them picking up the bedroom a lot and doing the same type of routine. Everything's got to be in order in the same areas. Almost kind of compulsive behavior in a way. So they're very restrictive and repetitive. And parents typically notice signs of autism during their first 1 to 2 years, but it can happen older. There's actually been adults that have been diagnosed with autism that were never diagnosed as children, but usually it is in their first 1 to 2 years of life. There's no known cure for autism. It's a lifelong thing, but there are steps and there's treatment goals that you can do to help with it and just to kind of help overcome it and to help children communicate more and open up more and not be as closed off. Symptoms of autism, you'll notice delayed babbling. That's a big symptom, like usually around 3-4 months old when you start to babble. Autistic children won't babble. They'll be really quiet most of the time. Little eye contact, so you'll notice you like kind of stare off. They won't really look at you. Parents usually notice this, around 2, 3, 4 months. So autistic children, it's usually something you pick up very early, but not always. Again, the repetitive behavior, closed off, and they don't tend to get very intimate or close just because that part of their brain isn't fully developed. So they won't, hug as much. They won't shake hands. They're really kind of closed off. And the 6 main symptoms of autism, I kind of went over this, but when we diagnose it, there's got to be at least 2 of impairment in social interaction, at least 1 of communication impairment, and at least 1 of restrictive or repetitive behavior. And 0.5% to 10% actually have unusual abilities. This can be, they might be really fine-tuned to memorization skills, like trivia games, card games. Some of them might have really high musical abilities, like a lot of autistic kids you'll see might be really good at an instrument. Anything that requires memorization, because that area of their brain is really fine-tuned compared to other children. 60 to 80% have poor muscle tone, motor planning, and toe walking. And also, many have unusual eating behavior this is in 3/4 of children with autism. So you might notice selective, restrictive eating, unusual eating rituals. They might eat unusual foods. They might cut their food up into little pieces. Even food refusal, where they will only eat certain foods and refuse others. So that is in 3/4 of children. So that's a big percentage. For treatment, medication is often used, but especially with children, this is often a last resort because they want to use cognitive type of treatment first, or behavioral treatment, and work with the children before they just give them meds, because the medications have side effects. And there's several diagnostic tools available. One is the Autism Diagnostic Interview. Another is the Autism Diagnostic Observation Schedule, which uses observation and interactions with children. And then pediatrician, this is the main diagnostic tool. And it's a preliminary investigation by taking the developmental history of the child and physically examining the child. And And then there's clinical genetics evaluation, and this is done after the child's already been diagnosed with autism to see, what level that they're at.